I want to do video content marketing, but scripting the content is a huge pain. You will often hear us say, it's best to script your content. It takes more effort and it can be a pain, but for your video content marketing to be effective, it's worth it. Why? Because when you write a script for your video, you go through it a couple of times and make sure your message is tight, so there's nothing redundant. But you can also come up with new ideas or angles on how to explain things and make your message more impactful. You add specific examples, or can create bullet points and lists that help your audience learn a process. You can't do any of that when you're speaking off the cuff. We've seen it way too many times. We've worked with professional speakers and CEOs who've given countless presentations. They're so senior and experienced that there's no way to convince them to script their videos. That's until after they see the results for themselves. So they will come to the studio or will sit down for a remote video recording session and they'll say, piece of cake, I can do this in my sleep. I don't need a script. And then they give it a shot and they look at the video. And 9 times out of 10, they come back and say, let's do the scripted next time. And then 10 times out of 10, they're much happier with the scripted version. But most people have an aversion to writing a script, not only because it's difficult, but also because they think they will look inauthentic and robotic. Wrong. You will actually look better, more dynamic, and more natural. Because when you're speaking off the cuff, you have to remember what you said and think about what you will say. You won't look your best and your content suffers. Instead, with your script on the teleprompter, you don't have to think about a thing. As long as you're prepared, which simply means that you've read through your script a couple of times, you'll be comfortable and look as good as possible. So, now let's talk about how to make your script writing easier. Yes, there is a way. We actually make it so easy that it's a no-brainer. Instead of having you or someone from your team sit down with a blank sheet of paper to come up with content, we'll first agree on the topics, and then we will interview you, which can be done remotely. It's casual. And you're looking at someone so it feels very natural, exactly like when you're explaining something to an audience. Within an hour, we can probably get enough content to produce videos for the next 3 months, publishing one video about 5 minutes long every week. So we'll record the interview, transcribe it, and send you the transcripts. Then it's easy for you to go through the text and edit. The key here is to go back and improve the scripts. You're going through your off-the-cuff material a second or even a third time. In that way, you'll come up with more and better ideas. That's the secret to really successful video content marketing, leveraging your best ideas and content. After a couple of more hours, you'll have your final scripts and you're ready to shoot. Or if you don't want to be on camera, having full scripts for your videos gives you the flexibility to have someone else from your team deliver them in front of camera, or even hire an actor to represent you. This works particularly well for larger companies where it's not as important to have the CEO in front of the camera. So the main takeaway is this. When you're doing video, it's almost always best to script your content, and we have a way to make it easier than you ever thought possible. All the business owners with successful YouTube channels we've talked to have said the same thing. I wish I had started 5 years ago, and I wish I was scripting my videos sooner. So don't delay. Start now.